Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Ravens Roundup. Today is Monday, April the 29th. We are officially in Taurus season. Team Taurus in the building.
Salute.
And man, I'm tired of seeing Derek White. Get that man off my team.
Did he just dunk Bam on a bio?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. Dunk on Bam.
I saw one of the Heat started faking a little ankle issue to get out the game. This one's
Hold on. Let me check out his contract details here. Is he up for a contract?
I don't know, but I'm tired of Derek White. If it wasn't for him, we might be only down 12.
He's killing it.
Because we ain't gonna win no way. But anyway, back to what we here for. We here for the draft recap. Let me pin this message. Nah, there we go. So, what's up, everybody? It's salute. So, hey, hold your glasses high. Hold your glasses high, because we actually got a milestone to toast for.
Yeah, we did. Yes, we did.
9,500.
Let's go.
The last milestone that I can hit before we get to 10K. Surpass 9,500 today. So I need less than 500 more. So everybody that's listening now and on the recap, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that subscribe button.
And if you're watching and you're not subscribed, stop leaning on the wall. Get out on the dance floor. All right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Their cousins and their aunties to subscribe.
And like when you at work and you go to your cubicle and people just on their computer doing nothing, because we know how y'all do at work. Go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button for them. They ain't doing nothing. That's all it is. That's it. Get it to 10K and the algorithm be a little different when you get to 10K. So
pull up your extra accounts, whatever you got.
Y'all got like 6 emails.
How about that?
Do it like that. But I appreciate everybody that's already subscribed. Appreciate everybody that's a Patreon member. Appreciate everybody that drops stuff in the Cash App, the PayPal, the pin comment, the super chat, everything. I appreciate all that stuff. I'm incredibly humbled the fact that it's this many anyway. But we're gonna keep on going. I'm gonna hit small goals. I like to have small goals. You achieve them and it push you to do more. Recently inspired by somebody from another channel. I had a little conversation with them, and just gonna be pushing me to do more stuff. So I appreciate everybody for that, and we just gonna keep this thing rolling. So thank you guys for embarking on this journey with me too. And the more I grow, the more I'm gonna push you guys to grow too. And we gonna all be in this thing and keep pushing.
Salute.
Go ahead. Oh, I thought Chris was saying something.
Oh no, I say yes, sir.
So the draft was this weekend. Pretty much all of us was here Thursday and Friday. And draft kind of consumed the whole weekend for the most part. We're gonna just get into it. We're gonna get right into it and talk about the draft picks. And we're gonna grade each one, tell us our grade, a quick little recap of what we feel about each individual pick, and at the end we'll have an overall grade. And while we're talking about the individual person, you guys in the chat box can put what you think about the person and your grade, and we're gonna do it pick by pick. So don't jump the gun. Kind of stay in line, stay informed, and go from there. Don't jump off the gun. Stay in line. If you go off the rails, I'm gonna send you to the principal's office. I'm still in teacher mode today. All right. So let's start off with our very first guy. Make sure I get this right. Act right stuff. There it is. Now we acting right. First round pick, Nate Wiggins. And so pick number 30. And we'll start with you, Chris. What you think about Nate?
Just from that picture, I wish he'd pull his pants up or tuck his jersey down a little bit more. We'll need to see the midriff. But I give the grade an A. It's obviously probably the best player on a bunch of different boards. I would have gone a different route with JPJ, but I'm not privy to medical stuff or anything like that. I'm just talking about talent, what we know. And what I know is that JPJ is talented and he was of a position of need, and I thought he would have fit the scheme very well. But like I said, medicals and all of that stuff. But Wiggins. You could possibly have a Pro Bowl player on your hands down the line. We got Brandon Stevens' contract coming up. We got Marlowe, who's often injured now. So it's going to be a need. So yeah, I like the pick. I like the player. Just would have went a different route just based on that JPJ stuff and the fit and talent.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm with Chris, man. I give it an A. I was leaning at that point. I'm thinking like, all right, man, just make the splash and get my man Cooper, so my man Cooper can wear that OBJ number 3. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, I think it's a good pick, man. Good size. To me, it's never a bad thing to have a loaded cornerback room. We've seen it very scarce before, and I think after that we got shook after Jamar went for 600 yards, 18 touchdowns in a game against us. I think it woke up the organization and they felt like they had to stock that room. So I think this is a move to do that, and to all the points that Chris said, man. We got a couple contracts coming up. We got a couple dudes in that room that haven't panned out. So we can't wait on them. Got to bring some young blood in, and he seems to fit that mold. They say, I'm kind of getting tired of hearing it, but that play like a Raven thing, and he seems to do that, man. He seems to be tough. He's a little slight. He's a little slight in build, but he seems to show some toughness, and he's fast as hell. So we'll see what we get with him, but I think it's a good pick.
Jose?
Yeah, I mean, like Chris said, if we're judging off of talent, I give it an A, right? But the strategy, I give it an F. I mean, we have a dire need at O-line, and I mean, I just don't see the plan there. I mean, I'm reacting in real time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still had the off season. They might have a plan to get better there, but just seeing what we have on that O-line, we never think about the offensive side of the ball. We're always thinking 4 or 5 steps ahead on the defensive side. Like right now, cornerback ain't a need. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, we can think about Marlon Humphrey after this year. We can think about Brandon Stevens after this year, but right now it's not a need. Right now we need offensive line. So I excellent player. I don't like the pick, but I mean, you got a excellent talent there. He's probably going to be our number 1 cornerback. So overall, I'll give it a C. I'll even give it a C+.
Endo?
I get this pick a B. I like the pick. I like the kid. I watched him at Clemson. Said this all week long. Good initiative, bad judgment. For me, I want to say I was a little bit upset at first. I was a little disappointed because all off season it was like protect Lamar, protect Lamar, protect Lamar, protect Lamar. Then when it came to the draft, it became let's get depth. And I understand the board fell the way that the board fell. And just to me, it's just an excuse that's given because it's like, hey, do we want to go for lesser talent that's not worth it at that pick? But was Patrick Queen worth the 28th pick in the draft? Was Odafe Owe worth the 31st pick in the draft? We seem to be able to reach at the defensive positions, and it's okay to take a reach at those guys. But when it comes to somebody else, they weren't worth the grade, or it just wasn't the right time to take that prospect. Now, I like the pick, but just as far as what we're trying to do, eventually he may become a star. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler, maybe an All-Pro. But like Jose said, for right now, what we're trying to build, I don't really like it too much. Now, DDSQ said on your show earlier, the Ravens are building for the future, which is well and dandy. But the only issue that I have with that is we're going to sit into the draft next season, and I guarantee you first round we're going to go corner again because we lost either Humphrey or we lost Stevens. And that's going to be an excuse why we take another first-round corner next year. So we're just keep doing the same thing repetitively, and each and every season we get in with this high hope and come off season, it's always the same thing. We can't score. We can't protect Lamar. Why did Lamar fumble? Because he didn't have any protection in the playoffs. And we just keep going round and round. I just want for one season, I just want them to try something a little bit different.
B?
Yeah, I mean, I give this pick a F, and it's because of the way that it fits in with the team. I mean, you don't have a need at corner. You have a bunch of needs on the O-line, and they sat there and they said, hey, 2 corners went in the first round. We can't risk not getting a guy in the second. So we're taking Wiggins here. Whereas 9 guys went on the O-line and they said, F it, we'll get it tomorrow. So, it's just it's just kind of the way that they look at building the team. And personally, I don't think it's going to matter if Nate Wiggins turns out to be, excuse me, as good as we all think he can be. If you can't protect your quarterback and your offense can't score in the playoffs, it does not matter who you have on defense.
Yeah, initially I didn't like the pick at first, but when I went and did a little research on JPJ and his medical situation, because I think he was the only first round lineman left, JPJ. And with his issue with his medical stuff, I became a little bit more lenient to the pick. And looking back, like at the guys that was left, he was the best player out there. So that's why I gave this pick a A. Because JPJ was the only first round lineman in my eyes left. And with his medical concussion situation, I think he's had like 3 already. And he got that hip situation. That's why I think people bagged up off him. You see how far down the line he ended up going. But I would have wanted a lineman. And initially when we first picked him, I was pissed. But doing my little research, that's why I gave it an A. Because if you would have asked me at that time, the pick would have been probably a C, D, or F. But doing my little research on it, I like the pick because he was the best player out there. Looking at what was left, there. But that's the first round guy.
My thing about that is those weren't the only 2 options, though.
No, they weren't. You could have went receiver or something like that. Yeah,
you could have. Oh no, I mean, I'm not even talking about receiver because I'm about tired of them trying to receiver. But you could have just taken a couple of your late picks and moved up and got an offensive lineman because we all knew there was going to be a run on offensive linemen, right? And it's just about the fact that
I give up on that.
But that's the thing. We don't give him a pass just because he won't do it, right? I mean, that's the biggest need going into this draft. Go get it done.
So but my thing is, if we're going to grade him. If we're gonna grade the person, I'm gonna always give him a D or F because he's stubborn. But I'm just gonna grade the picks because when he came out and said, no, I'm not gonna say because that we'll add to the time that I gave you if we start talking about him. So let's go to the second round pick. Roger Rosengarten, the name that I could not get right the other night.
You got
Rosenhaus.
You got other people calling him the wrong name.
That probably was the crown.
Now when I hear his name, I hear Rosenthal every time I hear his name.
The whole street yesterday, I was just calling him Roger. I'm not gonna get it right now.
Blame it on the green bag. I'll start with him. We'll just kind of reverse the order on this one. To me, at the time that we got there, it was him and Kingsley, and I don't think you could go wrong with either one of those guys because I liked both of them. He hadn't given up a sack in 2 years. Washington runs the zone scheme, which he's fairly good at. Little light in the britches, but I don't, like I said, out of him and Kingsley, I think if we'd have picked either one, I was going to give it an A. And so I like the pick, and I give this pick an A. As long as we didn't go, I think he's less of a project than some of the other guys. So I gave this pick an A. And we'll just go back around. So B, you up.
Excuse me. I give this an A as well. Like you said, he's proven he's a great pass protector. Hopefully he's ready to go day one, but you can't really necessarily just expect that, at the end of the second round. But I imagine he'll turn into that guy, whether it's day one or later in the season or next year. But I mean, you're picking in the second round. You got a what looks like a great pass protector. So we're going A on that.
Yeah, I'm going A as well. Like you said, he may be a little light in the britches. They said the same thing about Linderbaum. And he seems to he holds his own. He protected Penix's blind side. So he good to go. I'm glad they went offensive line. A.
Yep, same here. A. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I knew a whole lot about him, but I know you coach and Chris, you guys, you do your scouting. I trust you guys' assessments on these players. So it's something that we absolutely needed. So A.
Mikey?
Yeah, I'm with y'all. from a standpoint, I like the fact that he's versatile. The fact that he was able to make the move from left to right. Uh, and the reason they made it. Typically, when they make that move, you go from left to right. It's kind of a downgrade, but they made that move with the left-handed quarterback because they needed to protect him from that side, and he was able to do it, and he was stout from that side. So it's a good pick. Obviously, it was a huge need for this team, and he got a shot day one to be a starter. Some people are already penciling him in as a day one starter at right. We'll see, but hopefully, man, it's a guy that we have for years to come.
Great.
Yeah, I give it an A+. I think, they could have went Kingsley, like you said, Coach, but obviously they like Roger. They like Roger more. So when you look at his footwork and just the way he's able to mirror, you could see that he does that better than Kingsley does. Kingsley is stronger. Kingsley has more length, but Rosengarten, he looks like more of the tackle that they want to move forward with now. The guys you can leave on an island and just let them pass protect and mirror edge defenders. So I thought this was a home run pick. You hear him talk. Like, I've been listening to some interviews with him. Tyler Palumbo was one of his high school coaches. He's been working with Joe Staley. So, this dude, he's been getting game since he was in high school from an NFL level. So I like that about him. And you see some of that in his film, just the way he uses his hands and some of the quick sets that he uses. It's some high level stuff there. So I was very happy with that pick.
Now we'll few nuggets on them. They won them. They, like the Washington offensive line, won the best offensive line in college football, and they did a boatload of 5-man protection, which is very, very, very important. Meaning, like, the running back didn't have to help. The running back was able to get out in the line and protect. Him and Fontenot were the tackles on that team. So that's key, that they were able to protect the edges like that, and you ain't have to chip as much or use a tight end as much. You can put them, like you said, put them on an island, and they can do their thing. All right. Third round, and we're gonna start with you, Chris. Adisa Isaac. This is your Brooklyn guy, right?
Yeah, he's from Brooklyn.
All right. You can start with Adisa Isaac.
He's actually my nephew.
He's straight face.
Yeah, so this was another guy who, most people had in like top 50, top 60, around that range. And I think this was a need as well. I thought this could have been a third, fourth round pick. I was hoping it wasn't a first round pick, but with the third, I'm fine with it. You watch him on tape, has some explosiveness. He has really long arms, which he uses well. You usually see these college guys, when they're as explosive as him, they just want to win with speed. But he has some violent hands, and he uses his length really well. So I like that about him. Right now, he doesn't have a rush plan at all. At all. He's just running into dudes, using his strength, trying to use his speed, trying to convert speed to power. And I think with Chuck Smith, the fact that he put his stamp of approval on this pick, and really, really liked him, I think this is a nice lump of clay that somebody like Chuck Smith can mold into a pretty good pass rusher, hopefully, because he has the base for it. Has the athleticism, has the strength and violence in his hands and the length. So now it's about cultivating that and giving him the nuances of the game.
Mike?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't know much about this kid. But looking at his story, man, like, I'm really rooting for this kid. I'm not sure if y'all seen his story. Having 3 nonverbal siblings, single mom taking care of all of them. He got a lot to work for, and I think you're gonna get a hungry kid at least. So I will really, really be rooting for this kid. I don't know what to grade him, but off of the story, man, I'm gonna get this kid an A, because I'm really rooting for him. To not only obviously make this team, which obviously he probably will, but to be an impact guy, man. Because the story is if you haven't seen the story, man, look up this kid's story about his family, man, and what he does with his family, how he takes care of his mom. So I'm really rooting for this kid.
Jose?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably give like a C minus. Like, like talent wise, he's probably an A. And I'm basing it off of what Chris said about him. Chris says he could play. That's all I need to hear, right? But I don't think that's a position to need. The Ravens don't put a lot of value on edge rusher. We have a first and a second round pick that, they need to get out there and play. We brought back Kyle Van Noy. This guy, he might be a little bit of a project. So I just, we still had those holes at O-line. I love the pick of Rosengarten. We really need to go back and try to get somebody on the O-line or, try to grab another wide receiver right there. But the investment needs to be in the offense. I can't, a good player, wrong pick in my opinion.
Endo?
Yeah, this was the part of the draft where I tuned out. I ain't gonna lie. After this pick, I just saw black and just was like, nah, I'm done. But to Mike's point, once I saw that story, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm rooting for this kid now, and it changed my grade on him. So now my grade for him, I give him a C. This was not a position of need, in my opinion. I had PTSD when it comes to Penn State players, especially edge rushers. And something that was brought up today was EDC has been non-committal about Owe's fifth-year option. He only has 3 days.
2 days.
Well, technically, he has 2 days left. He has 2 days left to make this decision. So, like DDSQ said earlier, they're making picks for the future. They're trying to, like he said, have sustained excellence instead of worrying about taking that step forward. Because listen, this kid may turn into something. Chuck Smith may mold him, but as of next season, he may be a rotational player. He may get a few snaps. And right now, to me, he just is not going to affect the team like bringing in another offensive lineman for competition. Nobody says the third round offensive lineman is going to come in and start, but at least it's competition to put the best product on the field that we can. Yolanda just did a stream with a Steelers YouTuber. In the last 2 years, the Steelers have dramatically revamped their offensive line because they know. But yet and still, we're playing games with maybe he can. I think he could if we could just coach him up. And I just think there comes a time where we need to get in there and just be like, yo, let's get guys that can play and worry about the defense later, because defense, once again, has not been a problem for us the last 6 years.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a C+. I don't think it's a position of immediate need, or at least not the not the top of the list. I think that I would have preferred if they went with the Troy Franklin or Mason McCormick, to address wide receiver or continue to try and address that O-line and just, throw as many darts at that as they can. But, this is kind of the last round where I'm looking at just saying, hey, go after what you need, because, third going into the fourth round, because this is a late third round pick, you're not really expecting year one contributions from these guys necessarily. I mean, you get lucky sometimes and you get that, but you shouldn't really be expecting it. So, I mean, if you're going and saying, hey, this is kind of the best guy here, we don't think that, like I said, Franklin or McCormick or anybody else is going to contribute immediately, then yeah, go ahead and go with the best guy that you think is there. And if they think they can kind of mold him, especially considering, like you said, that Owe may or may not be on his way out, and you still don't know what you have at Ajabo. Yeah, I mean, not a bad pick. I would say a C+.
Excuse me, Coach. Before you go, Coach. Jeremiah said, "How do the Ravens not need an edge? How do the Ravens not need an offensive lineman or three?"
Well, so I mean, I know we tell the jokes about Owe and Ajabo, their first and second round picks, right? What makes Adisa Isaac
different?
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's somebody that needs work too. Like, are we saying he's going to come in here and take one of their jobs? I don't see that. You know what I'm saying? We brought back Kyle Van Noy. So I don't, Adisa Isaac might turn into that guy down the stretch. I don't think he's going to get on the field right now. So, no, it's not a need.
This pick had me certified baffled. like the straight WTF. And I was ready to give this a F, but listening to Chris, like on my video yesterday, I gave it a C just off the strength of what Chris said and the DM that I got from all 22 films. And so I gave it a C in my video. I'm gonna stick with my C, but that C could potentially go up because I watched a little bit more film on him today while I was at work, and I like him a little bit more. I will go on a limb and say I think this kid's better than Chop.
Okay. So Coach and Chris, like, do you guys? I mean, like I said, you guys watch more tape than him than I have. Like, do you guys think he could take one of those starting jobs this year?
I don't think he could take a starting job. I think he has the potential to compete for Ojabo for some reps.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a. I mean, they're going to use a rotation like pretty much every other team. So I could see him being an important part of the rotation, but not starting because obviously that's going to be Oweh and Kyle Van Noy. Okay. Yeah, so those two dudes are going to start, but after that you got Tavius, and then it's up in the air after that. Like we don't know about Ojabo.
I think them three going to fight for reps. Tavius, this kid right here, and Ojabo. Them three going to fight for reps.
Yeah, because
and Ham.
And Ham too, and because you got Jadeveon snaps up in the air, so you know somebody has to fill those in. So he played a lot of snaps last year. Yeah. So you know they're gonna need all hands on deck, and unfortunately with Ojabo, 2 years in a row, you know, so it's kind of like I don't want to say you got to give up on him, but 2 years in a row is tough to come in year 3 and just be like, all right, we're gonna count on him to be healthy again this year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All right. Round four. It's on you, Chris. Tez Walker.
Oh, round four. Okay. Yeah, Tez Walker. So this was interesting. I wanted Troy Franklin, but the Broncos took him. But Tez Walker, he's not a bad consolation prize in my opinion. I wasn't a big fan of his, but that's when people were talking about him going in the second round. Because he was getting a lot of buzz and all of that. And, you know, a guy, height, weight, speed freak. So, you know, those kind of traits, you know, those are rare. So it's obvious, it's easy to fall in love with those traits. He still has a lot of work to do. You know, I see people like, oh, you know, he's going to come in and dethrone Nelson Aguilar. He's going to dethrone Rashad Bateman. Pump the brakes. You know, like this kid still got a long way to go. You know, right now, you want him to be your vertical guy. Like that's what you want him to do. I mean, obviously it's not going to work every single time, but you need that vertical threat. And that's what he is. That's what he's going to be early on, the vertical threat, maybe some slants, you know, some easy drag routes, easy things. You don't want to put a lot on this kid's plate right now because he was at the Senior Bowl, his head was spinning. Like, because he's so young in football years. And if you do background on him, you see like he tore his ACL in high school, end of high school. So he missed his full freshman season. Then COVID hit. Then he had to transfer. And then obviously we know he finally got his start at Kent State. He went off. Then he had to sit out for the first 4 games of the season at North Carolina. So this kid has not really got a lot of coaching or playing time, you know, since he finished high school. So, you know, just pump the brakes on the expectations. But as far as physical skills, like I really like what he provides, especially for a 4th round pick.
Yeah, I give it a B, man. I remember it might have been, it was probably one of y'all, if not both of y'all, mentioning this guy early in the college season when he was I think he was just coming back, or he was about to play his first game back. And I happened to see that game, and I like what I saw from him. I agree with you though, Chris. I was going to say the same thing. Just know I didn't know all of that, like tearing his ACL and all of that stuff, but I knew that he missed some time especially having to sit out and all of that stuff and going through all of that. And it was looking a little iffy if he was going to be able to play, all of this crap. So missing that you put it perfectly by saying he was young in football years. So missing that time is valuable, man. Coming into, the NFL, and he's a speed guy and he has a physical traits, but he's going to be looking across the field at cornerbacks and linebackers that could get with him too. So I'm interested in seeing how he does in the preseason. Even to start camp, I'm looking forward to see how he does. But I like the pick. I give it a B. I think it's something. It was a good value pick for me. We need to continue, to Jose's point, we need to continue to work on the offensive side of the ball. We need to keep getting Lamar weapons. Hopefully this kid works out, but I don't think this was a bad pick at that point, value-wise.
Yeah, I agree with Mikey. I give it a B. Lots of natural talent. My only concern is it's not his fault. Is that the Ravens don't develop wide receivers well, right? He needs a lot of work. But that's not a death sentence to him. I mean, he can put in the work himself and get the right coaching, and he might turn into one of our top targets. In the fourth round, I don't think you can get much better than the talent that you got here.
Yeah, I give it a B. They took a swing at a wide receiver. I give him credit for that. They could have gone safety. They tried. Now he may, like Chris said, he may be young in years, but he has that speed to take the top off of a defense, maybe a decoy, until he kind of learns the position and learns to play it. But they took a swing. I give him credit for that.
B.
I'll give him a C-. I'm not giving him credit, for like Kendall said, taking a swing, because as Jose pointed out, you're a team that can't develop wide receivers. It took a developmental wide receiver. I'm not expecting it to work out. I would give it a C-.
Yep, I give it an A for two reasons. A, because Ted's in the fourth round. That's a steal to me. And then another reason, because Tez is a one-trick pony, and he's the one-trick pony that we need. He's a deep ball guy, and we need somebody just to clear stuff out. We got underneath guys. You got Mark, you got Likely, you got Zay, you got Bateman. We got enough guys that can work 20 yards down. We ain't got a guy that can just run past people. And that's what he does. And that's what he good at. He ain't good at outs, digs, curls, nuanced routes. He good at running past people, and that's why I like the pick. He ain't a nuanced route runner, and we don't need him to be. That's what the other guys for. Mm-hmm. He fits kind of what we were lacking, and like I say, he ain't the greatest receiver, but he does what we don't have. And so since we don't develop receivers well, we got a guy that can do this good. We got a guy that can do this good. We got a guy that can do this good. We got a guy that can do this good. We just throw them all in the pot, and hopefully we got a good receiving core. Hopefully, since we ain't developing guys that they all can do stuff well. We just got to get one guy that can do A well, one guy that can do B well, one guy that can do C well, and hopefully we can call plays to make that shit work. Hopefully. Round 4 still. TJ Tampa, pick 130. And I'll start with TJ Tampa. And I like this pick because getting him in round 4, I didn't think he would be there. But it really makes more sense when listening to what DDSQ said as far as picking guys for the future and trying to have sustained excellence. I think picking him sent a message to Pepe and Jalen Armour-Davis. If y'all can't stay y'all butt out the training room, y'all get up out of here. And Hendo, you read an article from somewhere on your live yesterday that I think was straight but dookie. Because Chris, I don't know if you saw it or not, but me and you talked about. It was
an article.
Hendo had found from somewhere.
It was
basically said that he.
Oh, it was an article.
I can't read. Said he wasn't athletic, and you remember what it said, Hendo?
It wasn't athletic.
It said this guy is a boundary cornerback, but he's not athletic. He's slow and he can't tackle. He's
And
a Ravens pick. He was a Raven. He's a true Ravens pick.
I saw that video of him playing basketball, boy.
What?
He was putting his elbow through the hoop.
Right. So I'm giving the pick an A because he gonna get them other guys. Either they're gonna get right or they're getting up out of here. And I think he's very athletic. I think he's in a tremendous zone corner. So if we can continue to get to the quarterback with 4 guys, he can be somebody that can help out. And I don't think he's gonna start because we good at corner, like B said earlier. But if Marlon, break a toenail, or the podcast need to be ran on a Sunday and he ain't got to be there, TJ can go in and do what he needs to do. So I like this pick. I'm giving this pick a B because it's not necessarily straight up a need right now, but he's in. He put him on the shelf in case of glass break or in case of podcast break. B.
I mean, I don't know a whole lot about this guy. I watched his highlights and things, and there were people talking about him when the pick happened. He seems like a solid enough depth corner. And like I said, when you're talking on day 3, that's really kind of all you're looking for is guys who can come in and fill in for injury or possibly be part of a rotation and maybe develop for the future. So, I mean, in that case, I'd say it's a pretty solid pick and give it a B.
Definitely a special teams guy too, definitely. But what do you notice about him when you see this pick, B?
Can't really see the picture. My camera's covering it.
Oh, my bad.
No, I have the camera set up in front of my monitors. I can't really see that.
I tell you, them long ass arms. His arms are damn near on top of his knees.
Just gonna say no neck.
That's what
I really thought that's what you was talking about. He ain't got no neck.
You'll tell you,
I'm being for real. But listen, I don't know a lot about this kid. And seeing that article, I really don't know what to think. I started reading other articles. But listen, he may turn out to be that guy that can come help support the team in the future. But like you said, Coach, if Marlon Humphrey gets hurt, Nate Wiggins. That's what he's for. Brandon Stevens goes down, Nate Wiggins. I thought that there should have been another offensive lineman. I don't know what this kid is going to turn out to be, but just for me and not knowing his game, I just get Sean Wade. How you Blue Kelly vibes. Another pick that we didn't need. Another cornerback that's going to come in.
Sean Wade was trash because he was trash when I coached against him in high school. I knew Sean Wade was trash.
Well, I'm not saying as far as talent-wise, Coach. I just mean somebody that's going to come to the team a year or two or whatever and is going to move on somewhere else because we're going to go in a different direction. I just think they should have gone in another direction because to me personally, at this point in time, I don't think they should have drafted another cornerback. But like I said, I don't know much about the kid, so.
Respect.
How tall is he?
6'2".
Yeah, he seemed tall. I'm good with it. I mean, no, it's not a position of need. I didn't like it in the first round. Once you get to the 4th round and beyond, it's whatever. You get athletic guys, tall guys, man. That's fine. And that's the side of the ball that they can develop. So I'm good with it. I'll give it a B.
Yeah, I think at that point, I mean, with him still being on the board, I know a lot of people had him possibly sneaking in the first round, but really 2nd round draft pick around that time, getting him in the 4th. I mean, I think as a value, he falls in your lap. I think you got to take him. But Hendo stole my thought because I'm not saying that I see Sean Wade in him,
right?
But it scared me because I was excited about the Sean Wade pick. Maybe just because, he was at Ohio State, even though that year he came out, he had a horrible year. The year before that, he balled out.
He was killing.
But the year that year he came out, he had a horrible year. But that is what this pick kind of put in my mind, and maybe that's just a little bit of PTSD with getting excited about picks like this, picks that you feel are value picks. But I like the kid, man. I've seen a little bit of him this year. I like the kid, and I think that they had to take him at that point. I mean, he falls in your lap like that, you gotta take him.
So he's the secondary Travis Jones. second, first round pick, but fourth round, kind of like that.
No, he moved a second round.
Where's Big Reg at? I saw Andrew call Caillou Blue Kelly trash. I was expecting an attack in there.
Big Reg, you know.
Big Red's like, not today. I don't got to fight me today.
You know. Go ahead, Chris.
You're good. Yeah, I like the pick. To me, it was between him and Jaden Hicks. To me, those were the two clear best players left at that point of the draft. And you know, we spoke about TJ Tampa a few weeks ago, me and Coach on the DBs episode, and you know, yeah, he's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's not slow either. Like people talking about him like he ran a 5, you know, 5 flat. You know, he's still fast. Like he can play corner, and then also with the long arms that he has, that closes windows too. Like it's not just about speed. Like you need length, and he has the length. What I'm interested in seeing him from the Ravens standpoint, where Iowa State didn't use him, is press. Because if you watch him at Iowa State, they mostly had him in zone, and with those arms and the tenacity that he has, I'm excited to see him in some press coverage because I think he can do it. I mean, he didn't show it much on film because they just don't play their defense like that. But a kid that could come in already have that prowess of being a zone defender, and then if you can just add that to his repertoire as far as being a you know press man, cover corner. You know, I think you got somebody who can, you know, be better than those other guys, you know, like the Kyle Blue Kellys of the world, the Sean Wades of the world. I think this dude's pedigree is way better than those two bums.
Man, nobody hates former Ravens like Ravens fans.
It came out smoking. I had a point to make, but I forgot it now. I was too busy laughing. What was my point? Shit, I don't even remember. Well, forget it. Round 5.
My bad, Big Reg.
It is what it is. You can only listen to so many Caillou Blue Kelly shots. Like, hey, what day is trash day? Caillou Blue Kelly day? Oh, same day. All right, round 5. Pick 165, Rasheen Ali. Back to you, Chris. From Marshall.
So Rasheen Ali, he's a dude. He came on the radar for me at the Senior Bowl. The first day, you know, he was out there killing it, and it's hard for running backs to kind of stick out in a Senior Bowl practice because you know there's no contact or anything like that. But as far as pass pro, just running the one-on-one routes, like he was really impressive. But he ended up tearing his bicep. So after that, that's kind of where the stock drops for him. Wasn't able to test, wasn't able to have a pro day, combine, none of that. But when you turn on the film, you know, there's some skill there. You know, there's some things that get you excited. He's a very, very patient runner when you watch him. You know, it's rare to see a player, you know, in college be so patient behind a line, especially a bad offensive line. And he's super patient. He'll wait, and once that crease opens, he can get through the hole in a hurry. Obviously he could be a third down guy. Something I was speaking with Mike Crawford about was his pass pro. You know, right now, when he sees who he has to block, like if he knows, all right, that guy is coming from the edge, I have to block him. I think he can square up and you know make that block. Now, when it's more advanced stuff, like as far as the schemes and not knowing which defender's coming on a blitz, he has trouble diagnosing who's coming and who he has to block. And you know he's a college player, so you know obviously you expect that. But I think there's building blocks there for a good pass protector to develop because the 1-2 is there when he squares up is good. But you know, I think he'll be a good, you know, rotational guy. I don't think this guy is, you know, going to be RB1 or anything like that. I think he'll be a solid, number 3 running back in the league.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know much about this kid. Outside of the highlights that I seen on him, but it concerns me with the injury. But somebody said in the chat, it's rare that you find kids that are hurt, and this is true. That you got a point with that. But that does concern me because we already have some injuries in that room, and we're going to need. We lost, Big Gus and JK gone, and who I'll steal from last year. He's recovering. So hopefully, it works out with this guy, but I'm not going to put too much stock in it. I am going to take the words of our draft gurus, Chris and Coach. If they say that he all right, then I'm going to take that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch any Marshall games last year, but I looked up his stats. When you get somebody that highly productive in the 5th round, I mean, you're getting somebody that has a baseline level of skill, technique. He didn't. I know he hurt his bicep. I don't think he worked out at the combine or pro day, but I know he was on the track team, so I'm assuming he can run. I don't think they let slow skis on the track team. So
who's out there shot putting?
Yeah, I like his bicep. No, I mean, I think that's good. I'll give that a B. I mean, I think at this stage of the draft, you get somebody like that. I mean, like I said, we're not looking for starters at this point, but somebody that can contribute. I think he'll be able to contribute.
Yeah, listen, I know a lot of people were disappointed in this pick, but we needed another running back in that room. Mm-hmm. We did. And to Chris's point, since Chris said, hey, this dude has pass blocking ability, for me, he gets to be off of that because Justice Hill can't pass block to save his mama's life. So B for me. Even if he just gives effort.
Hey, hold on, I got to hit you with the line that they hit Chris Brown with in that Quavo diss. Chill out, Chris. When he said that about take off, chill out, Chris. Go ahead. Unless you was done.
I'm done.
Okay, go ahead, B.
Yeah, no, like Chris said, and like Hendo said, I think it's fine. You need another running back until Keaton Mitchell gets back. The only thing that I've really seen of him outside of a few highlights, and this is from obviously PFF, so we know how you got to get your bottle of salt ready. But they had him as the worst pass blocking running back since 2017. That out of the guys in this class. So like I said, you take that with a grain of salt, and like Chris said, that's something that always has to be developed once you get to the NFL anyway. And I would not really expect him to be out there in pass protection situations too often. But yeah, they needed another running back. He looks like he's definitely got some skill. So I would say it's a good pick.
Yeah, I like the pick because y'all know I really feel like we're moving more toward outside inside zone as being our bread and butter, and he's a outside zone runner. Like Chris said, his patience is good. When he see it at that left or right foot, depending on which way the zone going, he stick that foot in the ground and he get it. As soon as somebody on the defensive side overplay it, he replacing them, and he gets he get big runs when the defense is out of position. So I like the fact that they picked the guy that fits the new scheme. Now, whether at the end he has production in the new scheme, so he's got 1,000 yards over 2 different seasons, being an inside zone runner, and Derrick Henry outside zone. Justice Hill, the little bit of good production he has at running back has been in outside zone. Keaton Mitchell was getting big runs behind the worst offensive lineman since Andrew Villanueva in outside and inside zone. So if we're going to move toward that, it's best you find a zone runner. Like I saw somebody said they would have preferred to have Estime. All Estime ran was duo. Estime had a bunch of big linemen had just ran right up the middle. They didn't run the outside zone, and they ran gap schemes in Notre Dame. So Estimate wouldn't, fit what we do. You got to get guys that fit what you're gonna go to. Estimate got to come down here. Estimate need to be 8-9 yards deep and get a head of steam running. Rasheen Ali don't even do that. All right, let's go to round 6.
You're muted, Chris.
One more thing about Ali too is that as far as like the exchange, like because we saw how it was kind of shaky there for the first few weeks with Justice and Lamar as far as the exchange at the mesh point. He has experience with that because they run a lot of RPOs at Marshall. So when it comes to that, the mesh point, I think there won't be as big of a learning curve because there's some running backs who never done that in their life. And it may seem like a simple thing, but as we saw early in the season, it is not a simple thing to do.
All right. 6.
Who's that?
The actor.
Leary.
It's the actor, Dennis Leary.
Devin Leary. D. Brian.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, this is, I'm going to repeat what Hendo said a few picks ago. You took a shot. You need a backup quarterback. Probably not it, though. But, congrats on taking a shot, I guess.
Oh, you done?
I'm done. Yeah, no, you didn't find him. I don't think you found the backup quarterback, but good job trying.
I get this pick a Z.
Rude.
And this is it's picks. He said diversity higher. it's picks like this that is the reason that I have a problem with EDC. I don't know who he's trying to be spiteful against, but it's picks like a quarterback you may have gotten in free agency, unrestricted free agents.
Multiple people said T wanted this dude.
T who?
Martin,
the wide receiver coach,
the quarterback coach.
Oh, he the quarterback coach again?
You tell T shut the hell up.
Yeah, you have your quarterback. I don't care what you want.
Facts. It's picks like this. It's
You
picks
tell
like
him to go back in there and coach Malik.
It's picks like taking a punter in the 4th round. It's picks like taking a fullback in the 5th round instead of saying, you know what, let me package some of these guys up because it's later in the rounds. The value might not be there. Let me move up and get a guy that I actually want instead of just wasting a pick on somebody who's not going to make the team. I mean, like now you're just doing anything. Now you just like throwing darts to the board like that Kentucky guy. Go put the card in.
He might make it now because I don't know what Malik gonna do now.
First of all,
you gotta have a third.
No. First of all, your man already said Josh Johnson is the backup.
You gotta have a third.
You don't gotta have.
You gotta have an emergency.
If you're going to keep Devin Leary instead of Malik, just go sign a veteran.
Yes,
you might as well call a veteran. He's 38.
I mean, if
he approaching senior citizenship.
If you feel that way, go sign Brian Tannehill.
But now we picked up Aaron Jones too, so who knows what happened with it there. But anyway, go ahead, Hendo. I'm sorry. We're approaching Brighton's deadline. Come on now.
No, I'm just saying, it's just tomfoolery. Like
I'm using Brighton's name, but we're really approaching my deadline.
Okay, it's just nonsense. He's just doing anything.
Nah, man, I'm just gonna echo what Hendo said, man. This is why we have a problem with EDC. I mean, he joked about how trading up is an art thing. that's not what we do, right? But then you get to the 6 rounds. You have 6 2 7-round picks, and you're hitting sim on the rest of the draft, right? Like this isn't a need at all. You have your quarterbacks. You're not gonna develop it. We don't develop offense, right? Like he's not gonna make the team. Right, and if he makes the team, he won't make it next year. This is a waste of a pick. This is a waste of time. This is an F all the way.
All right.
Yeah, I kind of felt it was a waste of pick. I mean, like Hendo said, he appears to be a guy you probably could have got as an undrafted free agent if you really wanted him. But EDC said He tasked T with the job. T said he liked him. So, you know, me, if I was T, I'm taking baby Tua, like I've been saying for the last week. You know, we could have took baby Tua right there.
Let's
what,
go.
Mike? I'd even took
Let's
that.
go.
I'd
You
even
know,
took that.
You know, at least the hometown fans would have been happy with that.
That's right. This would have been an A.
A Terrence West type pick.
That's
Get the
right.
hometown-
Terrence West. Shout out to
hometown
Terrence
team.
West.
Hometown. They always do one. It's always one hometown. But anyway, yeah, this was one of those ones. I'm sitting here watching and I'm like, fuck. All right, whatever, you know. So he sees something in him. T said, you know, he had a strong arm. We'll see.
Yeah, I was when they said it, I was just like, all right, okay. I mean, I guess they do need a backup, like, you know, eventually, like, because Josh Johnson is about to be 50, so they do need a cheap backup on a rookie deal. So hopefully this guy could be that. I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh yeah, I've watched him throw every pass and every NFL pass you could see. No, I haven't. Because I'm not going to watch a Kentucky quarterback right now. But if he could stick on the roster, cool. You got a cheap backup. But yeah, I was just, and I was, it was curious that T. Martin picked this dude over Michael Pratt. Now I didn't watch the quarterbacks like that, but just looking at rankings, like Michael Pratt, a lot of people thought he was going to be like 3rd, 4th round pick, and he went after this dude. So it was just interesting to hear that T like this dude over someone like Michael Pratt was getting a lot of buzz.
Round 7, last round. Nick Samac. Say Mac, Samac, however you say it. Center from Michigan.
Similac.
State. And while we're going through this one, Chris blessed us with a little film on this one.
Okay.
So we'll run a little film on this one while we talking about him. Chris, we'll let you start with Nick Samac, how you say it. It's on you.
Yeah, I didn't know who the hell this dude was. I never heard of him, anything like that. So I was watching him, and you know, I was, you know, fairly impressed by someone in this, you know, that went this late. What is this? 6th round, 7th round,
7th round.
Yep.
You know, you read up on him and you hear, you know, probably would have been like a mid rounder if he didn't break his leg. I take those with a grain of salt. But you know, he's going to be cleared to play. Well, start training in May. I think in 2 weeks he's going to be cleared, so he should be good to roll for training camp. He is definitely more of those zone guys, as you see with the footwork right here. So it's clear that they are moving away from those big, lumbering piles of shit up front. They're going with athletic movers, and that's what this dude is. He's an athletic mover, but he doesn't, you know, he lacks some functional strength. And you see that, you know, there's a rep that he has against Mekhi Becton last year, and he just treats him like a child. So, you know, obviously you're going to have those concerns. That's usually how it goes with these zone centers. They usually have those strength deficiencies. I'm not sure he'll be able to move into guard. I think he's center only, but you know, maybe he'll surprise. I don't know. I didn't think Bradley Bozeman could be a guard, and you know, he turned out to be a guard in this league. So, yeah, that's my assessment on him.
All right. Who's beside you? Mike.
Yeah, I that's what I was going to ask. Can he play any other position? But you know, I one thing I will say about this kid, I do remember, and then there's a clip floating around of it now where I can't remember who they were playing, but he came off on the sideline. He like flicked off like the audience or the crowd or something. He did the double flick off. So like he got an edge. I'll take some dudes with edge, right? Especially in 7th round. Give me a dude that got a little bit of edge if that's what we're gonna do. So I'll take him, man. We'll see what we get out of him. It would have made me feel a little better if he can play other positions, but we'll see, man. But he seems to have some edge, and I think sometimes we got away from players with edge So if he can bring a little toughness to that room, to the team, I'll take it.
Look,
Yeah, it's whatever. I mean, 7th round. Yeah, it's position of need. I don't have any expectations. He's a 7th round pick, just like with Voorhees. I don't, I have no expectations. So, if he makes the team, that's a plus. If he turns out to be more than that, that's a plus.
Chris said you can't have an edge with that helmet on. That's for protective use, Chris. And they just approved those for gameplay in the NFL.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
for
see that? You're gonna see that a
Wow.
little more. You're gonna see that a little more this year.
It's a guardian cap. That's to help versus concussions. They just like we use them in practice every day. Like they had to practice with them. It was mandated at our level. They're just approved them for gameplay in the NFL. You can get them in a bunch of like your team colors. You can get them, and it helps with concussion. Now, normally the linemen and the running backs are pretty much the ones that wear them, but that's what that is. But go ahead, Hendo.
Yeah, Blackula said that EDC needs to be Samac for this draft. But Blackula, I'm saying you would be wrong, sir, because this pick is an outstanding pick. Listen, I give this pick an A-, because you have a 7th round offensive lineman, and like Chris said, he has deficiencies in his bone density deficiencies. So you got somebody that's hurt. He's a 7th rounder. He's going to come in and take Linderbaum out. Him and Voorhees next to each other are the next two Hall of Famers to come from the Baltimore Ravens offensive line. That's how we like him, late round and hurt. It's not like we're not an injured.
You gave him an A?
Yes, it's not like we're not an injured team already. So we're going to bring people in that's already injured. Start them off right.
He fits the system.
Listen, we're going to start you off. We're not going to hurt you. We're going to bring you in hurt.
So let me get this right. So if you my teacher and I turn in a blank paper, I get an A in your class?
Bruh, because you ain't getting nothing wrong. Pow! None of the answers are wrong.
Wow. Go ahead, Roger.
I would give this a C because just watching him, he looks like he's got some mobility to him. He looks like he's got a little bit of ability, and that's really all you can hope for in the 7th round. And it's just a C because, like Kendo mentioned, he has one of those broken bones, and I just don't like. I think EDC really thinks that he's kind of getting over on people. Like, oh, I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna take this dude hurt. No, you're just getting an injured player who may not be who you think he is when he comes back. So I don't like that. But he looked like, just in the highlights, a guy who you may be able to get something out of, and that's always a good thing in the 7th round.
Yeah, I held out hope. Like I gave him not a bad grade because I was hoping that he could play guard. But if he's center only, this is a D because he's hurt. Like it was a bad grade because he was hurt, and I don't like us drafting hurt players. We've been burned by hurt players before. And really, if we don't get anything out of Voorhees, us drafting hurt players really going to piss me off if we don't get anything out of Voorhees. But if he's center only, like we could have signed a UDFA could have been like we already got a backup center. What did he leave? What was the kid's name? Mustapher gone. Okay, so I'll take that back then. Like we could have got UDFA to be the backup center. We could have used that for somebody that could have potentially maybe been a contributor, even somebody for special teams or something. But I don't like the pick at all. Not at all. And then we're gonna go to our last guy right here. And somebody help me with this first name. Sanoussi. Sanoussi, Kane, safety from Wake Forest. From Purdue. Special teams guy for me, and I just gave him a C based off the fact that he's a box safety. Basically, they kind of compare him to Tony Jefferson, but maybe I'm not saying he's going to be that good, Tony Jefferson, but that's the kind of player he is, like a box guy that we didn't use Tony Jefferson, right? And so I'm doing it for him. But he's mainly special team if he make it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You could tell me he's the greatest safety you ever seen, or he never even seen a football until yesterday, and I will believe you. I have no idea who this dude is.
I give him a C+. He, like you said, he's a box safety. He's going to play just like Tony Jefferson, outside linebacker a little bit maybe, which is going to free up Kyle Hamilton to do other things if he makes the team, if they don't sign somebody else with June 1st cuts. I mean, 7th round, last pick. You got to take a fly on somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who he is, but I don't like how he's giving my man Chris a finger there. You know, like,
he like the Bronx.
Hey, we got 5 minutes, Coach.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, NA, I have nothing to say about him.
Mike,
I heard he was a thumper, so we'll see. But even though we got my guy here, watching the draft, I wanted them to take another local kid, my man Bo Braid, even though he signed with us, but I feel like they could have called his name right here.
That's right.
The pick you're gonna make. You know, we did it back in the St. We did it back in the day with Michael Campanero around this time.
You learned that lesson.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Bo Braid went to the same high school as Michael Campanero, so like you could have really just did that. You know what I mean? I'm happy we got Bo. I think Bo might take this kid's spot, but they said this dude was a thumper, so we'll see.
Chris, I know it ain't gonna be good because he giving you the finger.
Oh man,
yeah.
Look, Chris Lee, know like.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about this dude. I know he's from Harlem. I'll be rooting for him, but I ain't really like the tape. Watching it this morning, he just, like you said, down in the box, slow, not really a good processor either. So mainly special teams, maybe. But yeah, it's it's whatever.
That's why he gave you the finger.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, since I got it up there, this is my graphic from the video. Overall grade B-. Chris?
I'm gonna say B+.
Mike?
I can give it a strong B.
C for me.
It was a C-, but since we just got the greatest haul of undrafted free agents ever,
They can't count them. They're down the draft.
You sure? Because everybody telling me they're gonna make this team unbeatable.
They're not drafted. They're signed.
All right,
not drafted.
All right, C+.
C-.
All right, there you have it. Y'all draft grades should be in the comment section, in the chat box. And if you're watching this on replay, put your draft grade in the comment section. I got a couple of questions, then we out of here because they dropped money for these questions. Jared Green dropped 3. He says, what pick pissed y'all off the most? Mine was Devin Leary. And fun fact, no HBCU player was drafted in this year. In round 5 through 7, there were HBCU players that were just as good, if not better. For me, it was Leary as well. What about y'all?
Yeah,
Leary.
Yeah. And that's a shame. That's a shame that there was no HBCU players picked. And I thought there was a kid that great. I don't know if he went to the combine, but I thought there was a HBCU kid that supposedly scouts had their eye on. And obviously he didn't get picked. I didn't notice that until you just said that, but that's a damn shame.
It was Isaac for me. I didn't like. I just didn't want to go defense in the first round. I could have easily said the first round pick, but to come back in the 3rd round with that's to me the last round where you can get somebody really expect them to try to contribute this year. It's just disappointing. I mean, good player. I just don't like the pick.
And the last question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying very clearly Wiggins.
This is the last question. Isaiah tipped $5. He says, question for each person on the panel. What would make Brodney happy? I'm going to answer first. Panthers Super Bowl.
No, you got to say win the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm talking about. We'll win the Super Bowl.
Okay. For me, Bazel, it would be if you go and accept my Deontay Johnson trade in our fantasy league. Go ahead and do that.
Anybody else want to take a shot at it?
A day off from work tomorrow.
Goddamn right.
I'm gonna say another trip to Japan.
Yes.
Oh. You got the green out of that one, Chris. That definitely.
Don't worry. I got you.
I'm gonna say another 100 subscribers over on Ring Kings podcast so we can monetize this channel. Let's go.
Let's do it.
There you go. Mike, you gonna take a shot at it?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this Disney trip that he's planning with his nieces and nephews.
Oh God,
that's gonna make him so happy. I'm sure.
So happy.
It's the whole family. Yeah. I'm sure to make him happy. He don't have to pay. He don't have to pay for his nieces and nephews. I gotta pay that.
I'm sure they're gonna tap in the B's pocket one way.
Of course.
Hey, we got 223 faces. We got 127 likes. Man, smash that like button. I've been giving out the points. I just ain't said nothing about it, but I've been giving them out. So let me go and hit the 100 real quick. Let me hit the 100 and the 125
need to be subscribed. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button.
It's right now. 100.
There's how many people in here?
222.
We need 100. We need 100 of y'all to go to Ring Kings and subscribe right now.
Facts.
Yep. Ring Kings podcast. Go ahead and do it. Don't even think about it.
That's right. For us, by us.
That's right.
Right. It's a big fight coming up this weekend.
So go ahead and plug the Ring Kings podcast. Go ahead and talk about it. Yeah,
look, like Mikey said, it's only the best boxing channel out there on YouTube. You know, don't fact check us on that though. Okay. We just did a video reacting to the Ryan Garcia Devin Haney fight. We also had something recorded. We still have, okay. Yeah, we also have something recorded that's going to be coming out pretty soon. And there is a fight this weekend. Is that the Canelo fight?
Yeah, Canelo and Munguia this Saturday, and then Inoue and Neary on Monday.
So you'll get another video from us. We usually react to the big fights. We're putting out some more content as well. We have a lot on the channel already. We did some profiles on some up and coming fighters, a couple other features. So man, go check it out, man. You're not gonna find another boxing channel like that. That I can say for a fact. You're not gonna find another boxing channel like ours.
True.
All right, promote the other one.
And yes, we're Tank fans. Prop demics. Look, we like a lot of them. I mean, we like Haney too. We like Shakur, But yes, I mean, we like the local kid, Tank. Yes, okay. Our other channel, me and B, Lunch Break Hot Take. We do a live show every Wednesday night at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We follow that up with the Overtime Show where we talk about anything and everything. Okay, that's over on our Patreon, patreon.com/LBHT Show, and you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. All those places at LBHT Show. It's all the same thing.
Mikey?
I am the one-time host of Open Mic with OTR Mike. Go over there and subscribe, man. And go over there and subscribe if you haven't, man. Watch my old stuff. I need to get those watch hours up. So watch that, right? And I'm coming back, man. We just tapped in. I learned a new system, man. So somewhat,
it's coming soon. We just had a discussion about it. It's coming.
Listen, man. It's popping. We'll be back. All right, I'll be back. Just go over there and subscribe. But I'm coming back. All right, I'm still the host over there. There's cobwebs over there in the studio over there. I gotta wipe down. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all in advance for checking that out. And in the meantime, man, if you want something new, like Jose already said, man, go to Ring Kings, man. It's just the best boxing podcast on YouTube. And you will enjoy it. I promise you.
You will.
Indeed.
Thank you, AJC. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Yes, you can find me at the Rogue Pod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you get your audio podcasts. I do a Sunday show called Any Given Sunday with Brodney, where we argue with people for an hour and a half about things that just really don't make any sense. Then we come back here on Monday night. You find me here. Also, you can find me Tuesdays at 8 p.m. going live with Mr. Galloway on Electric Relaxation with Mr. Galloway talking all things hip hop. Then at 9:45, you can catch myself and Brodney with Suge Knight 323 on his channel doing a Steel Conspiracy, which is AKA the Steel Claw.
Hey, one more thing, Coach. Myself, B, Hendo, we got a little project that we're working on. Okay, we need y'all to support this when this comes out. All right.
Please
That's
do.
yes. Like you need to support this. All right. It's gonna be dope. We're gonna put it out. That's I'm not gonna tease anything else about it, but it's gonna be dope. Support it.
Yes, indeed. And listen, now we talking about support. I didn't want to do this, but I put out a video on the 31 players drafted before Lamar Jackson. Shit took me a long time to do. I would appreciate it. I'd appreciate if y'all go watch that video because that shit took a long time to put together. And I mean a long time. So I'd appreciate it if you go watch it, please.
Yeah, probably. It's called Ring Kings Podcast. I put the link in the chat. I don't think it came up as a link though.
I put it in the description of this video too.
if
That's
you
why I
search-
was kind of like, it looked like I wasn't paying attention to y'all, but I was putting the links to everybody's channel in the description of this video. So if you just go to the description of this video, everybody's link is in the description.
Appreciate it. And you I mean, we're established enough. You can type in Ring Kings Podcast and one of our videos will come up.
Yeah, I put Ring Kings Podcast, Lunch Break Hot Take, Deep Cover, which we're gonna talk about in a second, and Open Mic with Mike and the Rogue Pod. Matter of fact, I ain't put my own in there. But you finishing up?
Yeah, on the road to 5,000. Appreciate it if y'all come to, subscribe, get the watch hours up. I'm finally seeing the fruits of the labors of being monetized again. Watching videos.
Christopher, draft season is kind of sort of over a little bit, but what y'all going back in the hiding, or y'all gonna stay off open, or what you got going over there at Deep Cover?
I think this Wednesday we might do a draft recap.
Okay.
Keyword think.
Mike. Oh, keyword. So Deep Cover Pod is Chris and the other two guys that were on there with our draft content. That's Chris, Mike, and Kerry. Just in case you want, but go ahead.
Yeah, we on our road to 1 million. So help us. I think we like 10 away from 1 million. So just go there and just support us. And we drop whenever we drop.
You got to be subscribed to know. And as for me, you guys are here, so you know where to find me. But I do have a second channel. It's called More Sip the Tally, and on More Sip the Tally is for what, Mike?
The streets.
Them streets.
It's for the streets. So if you follow More Sip the Tally, you probably got a boatload of alerts this morning because I was dropping a bunch of stuff for the streets with me and Chris. Just repurposing that content. Matter of fact, I was like, ain't no use of just going to waste. Might as well just put it out there. So I was just repurposing, and I'll be repurposing in the morning. I just got tired, and the kids needed my attention, so I had to go do what I had to do. But that's it, man. I appreciate you guys for coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us. And we'll see y'all next Monday with some more great content, and you'll see us throughout the week on other channels. So make sure you tune in to everybody's shows throughout the week. You'll see us in each other's chat box and support us. And like Kerry said, for us, by us, and we'll be out, man. Hey, man, make sure you go get them noodles. Go fix them noodles. See y'all next week.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
You lost.